if someone was joining the recruitment industry this year, what would be your top piece of advice, Debbie?
I would say find areas that you're really passionate about. Because for me, you can't be an expert about across the board with all industries. And when people are like, oh, we recruit for everything, I tried it. You can't. You can't do it well, And so really get yourself a strong foothold in a few areas that really interest you. I always try to make sure that I've got some creative clients in the mix because I love recruiting for creative jobs. I love reviewing portfolios. I love all of that. But I also love recruiting for tech positions because they're always changing. And so that constantly keeps me in the learning wheelhouse where I have to do research and I have to go out and figure out what's this new tool? I've never heard of that. And it keeps me stimulated. Those are the things that make this never feel like work, because as I'm reading and researching, I actually am passionate about and interested in the material and learning about those industries and those spaces. So if you're interested in aerospace, cool. Go recruit for a company that's doing aerospace work, and if you always had a kind of a passion for games, awesome. Go work for Riot Games. You're going to love what you do every day.
There's some great games agencies out there now, which again, 15, 20 years ago, we never had.
And they're super into it. And, people, if you love music, go recruit for Sweetwater, go recruit for music studios. I mean, combine your passions so that where you're working doesn't feel worky. It's constantly interesting. I'm not someone who should recruit for accountants.
That was my first job. Consultant,
that's someone else's work, But I love pharma and I love biotech. I love learning about projects that they're doing and work that they're doing. That stimulates me and it intrigues me. So I'm lit up all 16 hours of the day that I end up working.
Okay, we're not advocating that. This is what Debbie loves. That's fine.
If you do not get a job briefing call, meeting, whatever you'd like to call it, with the hiring manager, walk away. I realized while I was writing the Robot Proof Recruiter, and anyone who's read it knows I'm talking about chapter 5, that it is the most critical part of the entire process, and it's the broken part of the process. It is not emphasized enough because it's not just about, oh, here's a job description. It's about getting their commitment. It's about getting their partnership. It's about getting their respect, getting them to think forward about who they really need. It's making them think rather than they're looking backwards, because a lot of the time they're going, well, Angela's left, let's find another Angela, but actually they need a Louise. They need some different skills going forward. So it's asking some powerful questions about that, but it's also saying, right, if I send the CVs to you on this time, are you going to get back to me at this time? So it's those sorts of questions and commitment that you need to get from them. And you need to share your market knowledge. So be fully aware of, how few of these people are in the market or where they are, where they are in the market, how they want to work, all those sorts of things. So it's so incredibly important. I am writing a book for your leaders and managers for them to understand that side. So hopefully Conquer Hiring will come out this year, and then you can hand it to them when they're misbehaving, because that meeting is critical.
For them.
So anyone who has been trained by me will know exactly what I'm going to say. Anyone who trained me would have said exactly the same. You've got to pick up the phone and speak to people, and you've got to meet people face to face. Recruitment is purely based on relationships, and there are wonderful things with technology nowadays. You cannot rely on email, LinkedIn, ChatGPT, automation to build your relationships. These sort of tools should be used to support your efforts and support recruitment, make you more efficient, but they don't replace actual people interaction, building relationships, be it on the phone or face-to-face. And I appreciate face-to-face has, become less and less since the pandemic, but there's nothing to stop someone picking up the phone. And my personal view is hiding behind your screen constantly is lazy recruitment. Recruitment is a people business. It's entirely based on those relationships and your communication. And you cannot truly know what a candidate's key motivators are by an email. You can't really tell how suitable that vacancy is for them by a LinkedIn message. And on the other side with the client, you certainly can't, challenge sort of parts of a role description that they're giving you, or negotiate or have any kind of influence on their decision or the candidate's decision, or managing that candidate's counter offer via email. It's not possible. It's not going to have the same effect. And relationships are built on trust and likability, both of which are only gained by actual human interaction. And that comes from picking up the phone. And I think people coming into recruitment they're not used to using the phone as much. People are WhatsApping all the time. They're emailing all the time. I'm very lucky. I think that 15-year spread that I've had, it was purely phone-based when I started. There was, I don't even know when LinkedIn came into my life.
15 years ago, actually. Yes, yeah. If you weren't an early adopter.
Well, yeah, we weren't. I remember a good few years where we didn't have it. So I've kind of seen the benefit of it. So I know it's much easier for me to say, but then you've got to listen to people that have been there, have done that, are training you, and there's no replacement for a genuine human interaction and interaction relationships.
My advice to someone new is go somewhere that you are going to get exceptional training. Not just sitting and learning on the job from someone else, somewhere where you'll be taught a tried and tested methodology. I would say find your discipline. And by discipline, I mean, get it right every single time. Be, as I said earlier, be obsessed with service, be obsessed with doing the right thing, because cutting corners just causes pain for everyone and it will impact your reputation. So you're better to be known as that person who missed a deal against someone else or didn't place that candidate when someone else did. But their experience throughout that process was so good that they will come back to you first time, next time, regardless. So rather than just someone who kind of got lucky in the process. So it's about building meaningful relationships. And if you marry proven methodology with grit and determination, everything that you are going to do and doing it really well, you're just going to win and you're absolutely going to love this job.
My one piece of advice is it one piece? It just said what piece of advice? Okay. Well, think of it as a career. Yeah, it's not a stopgap. I said I jumped into it, but I like to think of recruitment as an amazing career for people nowadays. It's not just a stepping stone to another job. And what's important then, if you're going to think of it as a career, Angela, is to get training. Get training, ask for it, insist on it. And I say, if you're going to make a career in recruitment, specialise. Start out general to learn the ropes, but find an area that you can love and go deep. And when you do go deep and specialise in that, people wonder about what it is. Become an expert, and how do you become an expert? And I'd say, it's not as difficult as people think. And so I'd say to people, look up a video recording, a TEDx talk by a guy called Josh Kaufman. Sorry, I could put my teeth in. And it says, take 20 hours and become an expert in anything. That's the title. And then it'll show people with a little bit of effort, and if this is taken from the personal MBA, a little bit of effort, you can become expert, and then your career will flourish. So that's my advice.